Hello fellow gardeners, it's always a joy to connect with others who share a love for nurturing the earth and growing beautiful, healthy plants. There's nothing quite like stepping into your garden on a bright morning, tea in hand, breathing in the fresh air, and feeling that sense of anticipation as you wonder what's changed or grown overnight. Every day brings new surprises and small victories. We invest so much care into our gardens, nurturing the soil, sowing seeds, watering, and watching life unfurl before our eyes. Each seedling is a promise, and every new leaf is a reward for our patience and dedication. But then, the dreaded signs appear: chewed leaves, wilting stems, or a sudden swarm of pests that seem to come out of nowhere. It can feel discouraging, especially after all the hard work you've put in. It's frustrating, and for years, many of us reached for chemical sprays as a quick fix, hoping to save our plants and restore order to the garden as fast as possible. But we now know those chemicals harm not just pests, but also the pollinators, like bees and butterflies, and the vital life in our soil, such as earthworms and beneficial microbes, that our gardens depend on. These chemicals disrupt the natural balance, often making problems worse in the long run. They can leave our gardens less resilient and even more vulnerable to future pest outbreaks. That's why I'm passionate about working with nature, not against it. When we support the natural systems in our gardens, we create spaces that are healthier, more beautiful, and more sustainable. Natural pest control is about building a resilient, healthy garden that largely takes care of itself. By encouraging biodiversity and using smart planting techniques, we can let nature do much of the work for us. A few nibbled leaves, that's just proof of a living, thriving ecosystem. It means your garden is full of life, and that's something to celebrate, not fear. In fact, those little imperfections often attract helpful creatures, like ladybugs and birds, that act as natural pest patrol, keeping harmful insects in check. Today I'll share practical, effective tips I've learned over years of gardening, methods that build healthy soil, use plants to protect each other, and invite nature's own pest patrol. These are strategies that anyone can use, no matter your experience level. Whether you're growing in pots on a balcony or tending a big veggie patch in your backyard, these approaches will help you grow a vibrant, pest-resistant garden. Together, let's create gardens that are teeming with life, not pests. Let's get started. The best natural pest control starts before you see a single bug. It starts in the soil. Think of your garden's soil as the foundation of a healthy home. When you nurture it, you're setting up your plants for success long before pests even become a problem. Healthy, well-nourished plants are stronger and less likely to attract pests. They can resist attacks and recover more quickly if they do get nibbled. A thriving plant is like a fortress, much harder for pests to invade. Pests target weak, stressed plants, so focus on building rich, living soil. When plants are struggling, they send out signals that actually attract insects looking for an easy meal. Add plenty of compost each season to improve structure, retain moisture, and feed your plants. Compost is packed with nutrients and beneficial microbes that help plants grow strong and resilient. Water deeply but infrequently to encourage deep roots and avoid plant stress. Shallow watering leads to shallow roots, making plants more vulnerable to drought and pests. Mulch with shredded leaves, straw, or wood chips to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. Mulch also keeps soil temperatures steady and provides a habitat for helpful soil organisms. Give your plants enough space. Overcrowding leads to competition and creates a humid environment perfect for pests and disease. When plants are too close, air can't circulate and problems spread quickly. Good air circulation is key. It helps leaves dry quickly after rain or watering, reducing the risk of fungal diseases and discouraging many pests. Follow spacing recommendations on seed packets for healthier, more resilient plants. These guidelines are designed to give each plant the room it needs to thrive. These simple steps create a strong foundation, making your garden naturally less attractive to pests. A healthy garden is your best defense, and it all starts with the basics. Healthy soil, consistent care, and smart spacing are your first line of defense. By focusing on these essentials, you'll build a garden that can stand up to challenges. Start here, and you'll see fewer pest problems from the ground up. Your efforts now will pay off all season long. Let's move on to the next strategy and keep building your garden's natural defenses. With healthy soil in place, try companion planting, an age-old technique where certain plants help protect each other. Some companions repel pests with their scent, while others attract beneficial insects. Marigolds, for example, deter nematodes and whiteflies. Plant them among your veggies. Aromatic herbs like rosemary, thyme, and basil confuse pests and protect crops. Use trap crops like nasturtiums to lure aphids away from beans. Then remove the infested plants. The Three Sisters method, corn, beans, and squash, shows how plants can support and protect each other naturally. Corn gives beans a trellis, beans fix nitrogen, and squash shades the soil and deters pests. Companion planting creates a diverse, resilient garden community. It's simple, beautiful, and highly effective. Let's see how you can invite even more natural allies. Your best pest control allies are already out there. Beneficial insects, birds, and other creatures. Attract ladybirds, lacewings, and hoverflies by planting flowers like dill fennel, cosmos, and sunflowers. Let some herbs and veggies flower to provide nectar and pollen. Offer a shallow dish of water with pebbles for insects and birds. Encourage birds by planting native shrubs, providing a bird bath, and putting up nest boxes. Leave a pile of leaves or twigs in a quiet corner for overwintering insects. Allow a patch of lawn to grow long for ground beetles, great slug predators. A little wildness creates a balanced ecosystem where nature's pest patrol thrives. The more life you welcome, the fewer pest problems you'll have. Now let's talk about safe, homemade solutions for when you need extra help. Sometimes, pests get out of hand in the garden, appearing seemingly overnight and threatening the health of your precious plants. When that happens, you need to act fast, without resorting to harsh chemicals that can harm beneficial insects, pets, or the environment. One of the easiest and most effective solutions is a simple soap spray, which works wonders on soft-bodied pests like aphids, mites, and whiteflies. Just mix a teaspoon of pure Castile soap in a liter of water, shake well, and spray directly onto the pests, making sure to cover the undersides of leaves where they often hide. For tougher pests or fungal issues, you can make your own garlic or chili sprays. Simply blend a few cloves of garlic or a handful of chilies with water, strain the mixture and add a drop of soap to help it stick to the leaves. This creates a natural barrier that repels many insects and even some fungal spores. Always test any homemade spray on a small area of your plant first, and wait a day to check for any adverse reactions before treating the whole plant. Diatomaceous earth is another fantastic tool in your natural pest control kit. Sprinkle it dry around the base of plants to deter slugs, snails, and crawling insects. It works by dehydrating soft-bodied pests as they crawl over it, but remember to reapply after rain or heavy watering, since moisture reduces its effectiveness. These homemade solutions are safe for you, your family, and the environment, and they're surprisingly effective at keeping most common garden pests at bay. Plus, they leave no harmful residues behind, so you can harvest and enjoy your produce with peace of mind. Use these sprays as a backup plan when pest populations spike, but remember they shouldn't be your first line of defense. Focus on prevention and maintaining a healthy, balanced garden ecosystem. Practices like crop rotation, companion planting, and encouraging beneficial insects are always better than cure. But when you need a quick, natural fix to protect your plants, these simple homemade sprays and solutions have you covered, helping you grow a thriving, chemical-free garden. Sometimes, the simplest solution is best. Your own two hands. Walk your garden daily, looking for early signs of trouble. Catching a few pests early is far easier than battling an infestation. Remove larger pests like caterpillars or beetles by hand and drop them in soapy water. Blast clusters of aphids off with a strong jet of water. This hands-on approach helps you learn which bugs are friends and which are foes. Physical barriers like insect mesh or row covers can block pests from reaching your crops. Copper rings or crushed eggshells deter slugs and snails. Observation and manual removal are organic, immediate, and effective. Spend time in your garden. It's the best way to keep it healthy. Creating a pest-resilient garden isn't about quick fixes. It's about nurturing health from the ground up. Build living soil, use companion planting, and welcome beneficial wildlife. See your garden as an ecosystem, not just a collection of plants. When needed, use safe, homemade sprays and your own hands as tools. This approach connects you to nature and makes gardening more rewarding. A few nibbled leaves? That's a sign of life, not failure. Sustainable gardening is better for you, your family, and the planet. I hope these tips inspire you to try natural pest control. Subscribe to Soil Stories for more practical gardening advice. Share this with a fellow gardener. Let's grow in harmony with nature. Happy gardening!